In this recording, we'd like to introduce you to Radian Measure. When people grow up, if they do any geometry at all, the way that angles are measured, the way you're taught is to do it in degrees. Every full circle has 360 degrees, and we measure our angles based on that. However, there's another way of measuring angles that turns out to be nicer mathematically as we move on in math through trig and into calculus. Degree measure just has complications to it in some of the formulas, but we have this other method called radians, which makes our lives easier. I mean, at first we got to learn the new system, but hey, that's what education is all about. So here we go. Definition of radian. So 1 radian. 1 radian is an angle of 1 radian is defined to be an angle that when its vertex is placed at the center of a circle, the angle cuts off an arc of the circle equal in length to the radius of the circle. Let me scroll down a little bit here, take a look at this picture. I've got a circle here and an angle in it, and the vertex of the angle is right at the center of the circle. I have a little slider here that allows me to change the radius, and you can see that however it is, the vertex is still at the center of the circle. Now, I have highlighted here 2 black line segments, which are radii of the circle, so they're both the same length. And then there's this red arc here. And I've very carefully picked my angle so that the red arc here has length exactly equal to the length of the arc is exactly equal to the length of each of those black segments. If you took that curved thing and just straighten it out, it would be exactly the same length as this. So the arc that's cut off is the same length as the radius. This angle right here is 1 radian. Okay. How big is it in terms of degrees? Well, it's not immediately obvious. But note, the thing that I want to point out here is that 1 degree is a really tiny angle. 1 radian is a pretty substantial angle here. It's not small. Certainly less than a right angle, but bigger than 45 degrees. Well, how big is it? Let's take a look and get a little bit better idea on my next slide here. Here's where we're going to compare 1 radian to a 60-degree angle. Notice right here I've got there's a circle. I'll change the radius here so you can see there's a circle. And again, that angle is placed so that the vertex of the angle is right at the center of the circle. The 2 black edges are still radii of the circle. They're the same length. And what I have here now is this red segment is also straight, and it's of length the same as those 2 black ones. So what I have between the 2 black line segments and the red line segments is an equilateral triangle. So each of the angles in that triangle, this one, that one, are all 60 degrees. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to take this red curve and bend it until it's on that circle. And as I bend it, it's going to have to squeeze the angle together because I'm going to keep it the same length. It's going to stay, the red curve is going to stay the same length throughout this. And notice that this side here is scrunching down. I'm keeping this side fixed. But this side right here is scrunching down as that red curve gets bent. And by the time I get to here, that red curve is now an arc of the circle, where this is at the center of the circle. And this angle is 1 radian. When I slide the slider all the way to the left, the angle down here is 60 degrees. When I slide it all the way to the right, the angle over here is 1 radian. So in this way I can see that 1 radian is a little bit less than 60 degrees, this tiny little angle here. It turns out, and we'll see this in a later video, that this angle is about 57.3 degrees or something like that. So almost 3 degrees short of 6 degrees, but still very close. That gives me an idea of, in terms of my old system of degrees, how big is 1 radian? It's about 57. It's about 57 degrees, right? A little bit less than 60. There's a bunch of words down here. I'm going to scroll down just so that you can see the words. This is just what I said out loud. It's a description of what's on this slide. You may want to pause the recording and read this if you didn't catch what I said out loud. Anyway. So, there is 1 radian, the angle that cuts off an arc length equal to the radius of the circle, a little bit less than 60 degrees.